5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hoggers!
How dare you? How dare you?
Hello, everyone. I'm going to start talking so Doc can't cut that part. Hi, I'm Dominic. I'm an intern. Oh, yeah, I should probably do the rest of the intro. Me intern at MCZ. Me vert paleo. Me do fossil prep. That, you go.
Me Gojira. Me incoming student at Bristol, England. Me paleo student. Very soon. Boss. Big boss is Blue
Big
Raptor.
boss man. Big boss raptor man.
Me boss, me like dino, me dino. Me
Me
study
dino.
dino. Me study rock in desert, it hot.
It do be hot.
And together is bone.
Head.
Bonehead.
Oh. Sorry. I've learned more information. But yes, hello everyone. We are the
Bonehead.
Boneheads.
We are never getting that right.
For the
No,
second
that
time.
wasn't bad. But yes, today we are studying a very cool creature that actually, as I'm looking into this, I don't have to study dermal armor again. There's much more cool stuff about this creature that I'm totally learning.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, there's actual really cool and very interesting bits. There's more evidence to the thing Gojira, and we were talking about before we started recording. But
We can
first,
get into that with ecology.
yes,
and
there's a lot of ecology stuff. So, everyone, welcome to our second Xenarthran. But the Xenarthran that Doc was probably most excited for. I like the other one better. Doedicurus. The
Doedicurus.
correct way to say it.
You both are wrong.
Yeah,
No.
we have been fighting about this.
The issue is
two
that
of us say Doedicurus, the other does not, and one of us is wrong.
Yeah,
No, two of us are wrong.
two of us are wrong. There's
No,
a
two of
second
us
you
are
there. There's a second you there. I will be a pedant about your Kurama.
And I will be
anyway, I realized I forgot to create our platforms for sizing, so I'm going to go ahead and do that quick.
Yes, because we can. Oh, we shouldn't size.
We should have sized Reaper. Shit.
That's fine. Whatever. Anyways, we'll remember that next time. No, we won't. But
No,
yes, anyways,
we're
this is
boneheads for a reason.
Doedicurus. Its name means, its name is actually very much in line with what it is. Its name means clubbed-tailed pestle tail. Doedicurus means
and pestle tail is the genus name.
Yes. Yeah. So and clava how do you say it? It is specifically a Doedicurus. Clavicaudalus. Clavicaudalus means club-tailed. Doedicurus means pestle tail. So it's in reference to its giant death spike club, which this isn't actually that far off. There's no spikes on the bottom, I believe. That's it. If we can get it.
Yeah, it has a neat name, Doedicurus. There's how many valid species are there? Is there only one valid species?
Only one. Only one.
But something we discovered while doing research was that it has a bunch of names that are invalid now and all mean the same thing.
A lot of them mean big.
Some people really wanted to name this the Big Pestle Tail.
The Big
They tried every combination they could to do that.
We have Glyptodon gigantus, Penarchithus gigantus, Doedicurus gigantus, Doedicurus gigas. It basically went through all of the that's a great thing into phylogeny. Well, I'll explain first.
Let's finish the names first, and then we can go into phylogeny.
Yeah. They named it basically every South American Glyptodon under the sun because very cool thing about Doedicurus is actually contemporary with two other very famous Glyptodons, or one very famous Glyptodon and another one. So they basically just went down the list until they realized, I'm gonna name this a second species. It's contemporary. Same thing. a third species. It's just they really want to name it big in reference, and I believe this actually is based on the specimen that's the biggest specimen because there are.
Okay.
It does appear that Doedicurus actually gets significantly bigger the earlier in time it becomes, or later in time, I should say.
Oh,
The older,
like
the
the genus gets larger over time.
yeah, it seems in the especially in the last glacial maximum, it really gets big, and that's when the size
Which,
gets about now.
which I mean, that's a common thing for the at least the
Yeah,
last glacial
Yeah.
maximum.
yeah,
Which
things
I
get
mean,
big.
I think we touched on it a bit during Procoptodon, but we can get into it more here too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
cold weather gigantism.
Yeah, but Gojira, do you want to
Yes.
do some phylogeny?
Yes, I do like to do some phylogeny.
Phylogeny.
Doedicurus is, well, first things first, it is in the class Mammalia, so basically a mammal, characterized by milk-producing mammary glands, the neocortex part of the brain, 3 middle ear bones, and hair and/or fur. It is in the order Cingulata, which is basically it was an order of New World placental mammals, which stuff
This
like Dacia, Dasapoptids, and Clamophorids are basic.
I'm gonna have to show pictures on screen because I
Yeah,
have no idea what the
you
heck
did
you're
also
talking
miss
about.
its super order. It is a Xenarthran because
it
Xenarthran
is a
is a super
Xenarthran,
order,
yes.
not
That's
an order.
probably important.
It is a
Yes,
Xenarthran. And Xenarthrans are basically like placental mammals from the Americas, stuff like
only South
glyptodons,
America.
ground sloths, armadillos,
Well, they
and
are from South America
Mhm.
yeah,
specifically.
And maybe
yes.
a little shout out to a prior video. It's our second Xenarthran, but this
This
one
is the,
from the other main branch.
Yep.
yes.
The second branch, the Clamophoridae, which is which basically includes armadillos and all their extinct relatives, and one of those subfamilies is Glyptodontinae, which includes glyptodons, Doedicurus, stuff like that.
The big
And
boys.
we get the big boys, the big
Um.
tanks, some of them with tail clubs, like Doedicurus.
Now, I will edit what Gojira said a tiny bit because I did a bit of phylogeny digging into my own. They said in Gotcha, I love Xenarthrans. I think Xenarthrans are probably the only mammal group, in my opinion, that is interesting enough to study. I am very biased against mammals, very much so. You will probably, except for when it comes to weird things like Afrotheres or Xenarthrans. I think
What about marsupials?
even then, marsupials don't actually interest me that much.
But
I only
It's
like really
like,
Afrotheres and Xenarthrans.
is Procoptodon just a big exception?
yeah,
No, megafauna are a big exception.
yeah, yeah, I'm the big mammal guy of the trio, so I kind of have a bias towards mammals.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is that Kigulata is the group that is all armadillos that splits off from sloths. Specifically, Chlamydophordia is specifically armadillos.
Yes.
Specifically armadillos.
So this guy is in the same group as modern armadillos.
Yep.
Yes, which
Spiky.
is a new
Looks like a
thing.
big armadillo.
The size
Which
of
is
a
a new
car.
All North American armadillos form their own family. By the way, that's the distinction.
Okay.
It was initially thought, until very recently, that glyptodonts formed their own family and were just outside of true armadillos, which are the
Like the nine. Yeah.
the Chlamydophoridas. It has recently been shown that they are in that family and
Mhm.
nestled in, and well, it makes kind of sense. Again, none of us studies Xenarthrans. I am the only one who looks very much into it, and I look on the sloth side because I like that side, on the sloth and anteater side.
Ooh, sorry, this
And
one has really cool colors. I like
they
this one.
are very pretty. So if we get any of this wrong, sorry in advance. we are in training, as we've said multiple times. If we say anything wrong, Doc
Yes.
will try to fact check us, but he may not catch it.
Right.
Yeah, and Doedicurus is by far the largest of its group.
Yes.
By far. It is really big. How big, in fact,
It was
is...
about 1,400
Well-
kilograms on average.
Yeah, which is a ton
Which
and a
is-
half.
Massive for an animal this size.
Yeah, because if we want to do a bit of a length thing with our magical measuring devices...
Oh,
Well, hey, isn't that for the in-game stuff? Or
Not really, it's technically both.
yeah, because this is one of the rare creatures in Ark that's actually the right size.
it is.
Yes. I will also mention,
Oh.
we have the weight for its club. Would you like to guess how heavy its club weighed?
50 kilograms.
About 40 to 65 kilograms.
Oh, wow.
You're
Fine.
cheating, Gojira. You read the wiki. I said guess. But yes, it's 40 to 65, so 50 is the perfect.
Hey!
Insane, by the way. That's 140 pounds.
Big as a cannonball.
Yeah, that's
And-
exactly what it is.
And well, at least in game, we'll see how well this translates to the real animal. It appears to be about 4.5 to 5 meters long, and maybe 1.5 tall.
It appears to be exactly a meter and a half tall and 3.6 meters long. So almost exact, if not a bit, maybe a bit short.
Yeah. Maybe the tail's a little long on the model, but
Yeah.
honestly,
It's
this is probably the
accurate.
closest we will get in this series
Yeah.
to an accurately sized creature.
I will mention there is an estimate of a 8,000-year-old specimen that's confirmed to be 8,000 years old that got up to 2,370 kilograms, if the measurements are correct, which is almost 2.5 tons, which is like... there are a lot of things that support that Doedicurus, one, was a very, very late surviving. We even have evidence of a spear tip embedded, or maybe not embedded, let me double check. There is one that appears to be mentioned it somewhere in here. 2 seconds. I don't want to get it wrong. There's a paper somewhere. I'm gonna see if I can find it again. But apparently, there is a probable human-made injury on a carapace of a Doedicurus. But I'm trying to see if I can find that.
Which, I mean, does not surprise me.
So yeah.
No.
While you're looking that up, it might be fun to say where this guy's from.
Yeah.
Doedicurus, however you want to say it, is from South America. Specifically, it seems to have enjoyed living in the grasslands, or pampas, as they're called in South America,
Mm-hmm.
which are pretty analogous to the Great Plains of the United States, if you live in the US, or just think of any huge grassy meadows with sparse tree cover.
Yes. Think of it kind of like a South American savanna.
Exactly. And
Oop.
as we've already alluded to by saying, oh, this 8,000-year-old specimen, they were alive until very recently.
I found it, by the way.
The youngest are, what, 7,000 years old? Which means
That's
just a bit older
questionable.
than the period.
It's not, actually.
Like,
It's not with specifically Doedicurus. The other mammals, yes. Doedicurus, it appears in this paper that there's at least a single individual that is possibly the remains of a Doedicurus kill site by humans.
but yeah,
Um,
like the 7,000-year-old.
That's
Doedicurus?
6,500.
6,500.
Yeah, but
How
they're
long? When were the first pyramid? That's within
4,000?
the ancient Egyptian
4,000
dynasty.
BC was the pyramids.
Yeah,
Around
pyramids
that.
are 4,000, I believe.
But yeah, there was also a study that showed like stuff in like La Moderna and other supposedly dated Holocene dated megafauna at other Pampas sites were due to contamination or other errors, and there's been some doubt on their Holocene survival.
But
So it's questionable.
it does appear that, while that is true, that there are 4 mammals specifically that seem to avoid this issue as having more evidence. Doedicurus being one of them. The other ones are specifically Equus, Hippodion, and Megatherium. These all appear to have evidence of either other fossils being dated to that late. With Doedicurus being, there's quite a few. Or like actual evidence of human interaction, which would place it at that late.
So
That,
something, or sorry, you
Mhm.
finish, and then I'm
Well, I was
excited.
gonna say the paper is by, okay, I want to say the paper's by. It's it's another one by Luis Alberto Borino, Marcia Zatere. If I'm butchering these, I'm very sorry. Laura Miotti and Mauricio Massione. It appears that it's a bunch of South American paleontologists all working on these Pleistocene megafauna.
What was the date of the paper?
Paper date 1998 is this one,
Right.
I think.
Like uh the one I was reading about that going into question, it was Pablo G. Messiano, Christian M. Favier Dubois, Gustavo G. Paulidis, and Paula Vital. Again, I'm sorry if I butchered those names, and that came from 2021.
Okay.
So,
Well, let me just say, regardless,
Yeah.
if the 6,500 year tag is accurate, if that means that the latest surviving Doedicurus are just older than the oldest recorded human writings.
Correct. And I will mention it has a relative,
Nuts.
a glyptodon specifically, possibly dated to 4,300 years. Now it's contentious, but it's a possible with its dating. Which, if that's pyramids, which is insane.
Yeah, that is within the Egyptian dynasties.
Yeah.
So these things were alive until we can. I imagine proteomics have probably been done on them, haven't they?
Probably, yeah.
For anyone who doesn't talk science, you can send a cheek swab off and get your DNA tested. That is genomics or genomics, and it can tell you this person's probably your dad. You probably came from this area. Blah blah blah. You can do the same thing with proteins, and it's called proteomics. Because proteins are expressions of your genetics, it's not quite as accurate as genetics are, but it can help nest animals with other animals, especially if you do a bunch of different proteins. And proteins are useful because they can last an incredibly long time, depending on the protein, much longer than these. So I know there's been a lot of proteomic work done on other megafauna. So there's probably been at least one glyptodont that has had its
Probably. I have not seen a specifically one for Doedicurus, but I would doubt that it hasn't.
yeah.
I would doubt that there hasn't
We
been
have
one.
a lot of these guys, don't we?
We have a bunch. It also helps that Doedicurus, as I mentioned earlier, is contemporaneous with 2 others glyptodonts. Glyptodon itself and
Panoctus.
I hate its name. It's CHTH.
Panoctus.
Panoctus, yes. Which are very also interesting of themselves. It seems that glyptodons got very, very diverse, as it appears that they're almost kind of like within Kylosaurs, almost 2 factions. There's the faction, mind you, these aren't split up by families, by the way, they're all together. But either they got these really stubby, almost tree trunk tails, or they got these really long tails with like clubs, or in Doedicurus'
Right.
case, a spiked club on the end.
Yeah, a
A
mace.
mace.
Yeah. So we have
What- Or,
mace tail
no, just a flail, actually. Flails are spiked.
flails. Yeah.
Because it doesn't have like the ossified tendons that Ankylosaurus had,
Yeah.
most likely.
Well, actually, that brings up another point. Do we think this thing used it as a weapon?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
If not against predators, at
Then
least against
definitely
each other.
against other males fighting for females.
Well, one, it does not. We have a few of these. It looks like all of them have clubs, so I doubt it's a
Right.
sexual display thing. Well, there's a
Well,
females don't have them thing.
I mean, like,
But
Well, pause. Just because a feature is selected for
Yeah.
in one sex doesn't mean that the other sex can't
Does-
exist.
that's true.
it's like
That's true.
buffaloes, like both male and female buffaloes have horns, but the males still use them for fighting over mates.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Things evolve weapons. They tend to fight each other with them.
Yeah.
tend to.
Yeah. Because there's a paper saying that it couldn't be used against predators. Now, mind you, that paper also says it could have swung it at 40 kilometers an hour. So,
Why
That's-
wouldn't it use it against predators?
Yes. It's like it's
Sorry,
Yeah.
real quick. Hot take here. Biologists and
paleontologists especially.
anatomical features can be used for more than one thing.
Yes.
So,
Like there's
It's a
no,
paleontology
there is
issue.
never just one thing that a feature is used for. And two, when an animal's life is in danger, it will do whatever it takes to survive.
Yes.
oh god, yeah.
It's that.
That includes flailing around with its mace tail.
Yeah.
100.
It has the same vibe as that same that paper of the Therizinosaurus couldn't use its claws for ships, which is I vehemently disagree with, but
That paper.
is
I'm more inclined about that paper specifically because Therizinosaurus's claws suck at everything, which is because of how they're built. Mind you, I
that's
don't.
kind of
I
bullshit.
don't think it couldn't have used them. I could really use them. They were just fat. They're not very strong, unlike other Therizinosaurus.
But it
Therizinosaurus
doesn't take into account stuff like keratin.
Okay,
true.
counterpoint. Human fingernails aren't very strong. But if you get attacked by someone, it's common to
Yes.
scratch the heck
Like-
out of them.
Have you seen women fight with their nails and how much blood can
Yeah.
be drawn from them?
That's true.
I mean,
I will
just
also-
people, yeah.
I also mentioned
Oh,
in that
also,
paper.
super duper quick. We are including some variants this time, not just the normal Doedicurus. This is the aberrant one from
Yeah,
Ark
it
Aberration,
glows.
meaning
Yes.
it glows.
Yeah.
Which we probably won't get into because that's just a common thing with aberration.
If we get into it, we'll get into it when we get to a glowy aberration creature. Probably when we get to the light pets. That'll probably be actually a
Yeah.
part of the light pet video.
Yeah.
But
Probably.
there is something suspect to that. Is that with that paper it said the Doedicurus probably couldn't. Let me read it verbatim. One, there is evidence. Well, there's a few things. It does appear. I'm trying to. The reason why the Proteus couldn't use its tail is because it couldn't turn around fast enough. And while sure, I agree. It could have also done the armadillo thing of hunkering down because it's covered
Yes.
in armor,
It's covered in scoops.
osteoderms.
And also, its body doesn't necessarily have to turn. The tail can turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
it can bend. It's not like an Ankylosaurus tail that, it can
Actually,
bend.
So,
It can
so
bend,
would you
yes.
its tail is designed for three-dimensional combat?
Yes. Well, speaking
we'll
of
get to that in
that three-dimensional combat, what was this thing using its tail on? Everyone.
Probably other members of its own species first, predators second.
Well, that's
Or,
the thing.
Well, sorry, before you reveal the correct answer, alternatively, I mean, Do we know what this thing ate?
Yes.
Grass.
It was a grazer.
It
was a
was a
grazer.
bulk feeder
Yep.
grazer.
It had hypsodontic
Okay.
dentition, and it never stopped growing, and it was assumed to feed primarily on grass.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a
that
bulk
would make
feeder.
sense, but I was just thinking, like, that tail could probably knock over a small tree.
God, yeah. If it
Also,
wanted the tree,
hello,
it could
Maybe.
probably get the tree.
Parasaurian. Thanks for
Mind you,
interrupting.
I also don't think this thing was smart enough to realize I hit tree, it go down.
It was not a bright beast.
No,
I mean,
in my opinion.
rhinos are smart enough to understand that.
Yeah, but like,
You're smart
this
enough
thing
to understand
gives
that.
dumb.
It's like if you have an intelligence scale of smartest being you understood Godzilla's singular point on the first watch, and dumbest being
Is
you
that
thought
what we're basing this on?
you thought Game of Thrones season 8 was a good finale. This thing is pretty far leaning on the latter. It's a dumb beast.
I mean, probably, but I don't know. I think yes, it probably wasn't intelligent at all, but
For a mammal,
oh,
at least.
its tail glows for the aberration variant.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Cool.
I mean, it's not
a
like-
disco ball of
Cool.
death.
It wasn't like it's still a mammal, so it was probably smarter than like its ankylosaur like counterparts, but
I mean,
it
okay,
wasn't
do we think it's smarter than a sloth?
probably.
I don't know
No.
about that because
Sloths are smart enough to recognize that branch has leaf. Grab branch. Get
well, I will
leaf.
mention like modern day armadillos are pretty smart.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
my
they
only.
can actually be tamed, can't they?
Yeah, they play and stuff, and like they remember human faces.
Also, sorry, I really like this aberration color
It's
combo.
very pretty.
It is.
But back to what they were using their tail against. Predators
Mhm.
and other things in its environment. We will talk about those other things in its environment and other things because of the awful Smilodon in this game, and the cave bear. But also the terror birds this thing lived with. This thing went through multiple generations. I think. I don't know if. Let me check if the Glyptodont family met the Sebecids.
I mean, probably they both. Sebecids, at least some Sebecids were grassland predators.
Well, I mean, time-wise.
Oh. Maybe the earliest members of the family? I don't know when they initially evolved.
38 million years ago is when Glyptodonts started.
They started 38 million years ago.
And the Beckids about 67.6 to 11.8 million years ago.
Yes,
So, yes.
very much so.
Yes.
Yeah, Glyptodonts appeared to have seen the rise and fall of South America, almost.
They were just sitting there like rocks, watching
Yeah.
time pass them
Basically,
by.
there's a massive assemblage in Patagonia of a bunch of things in there. One of which, very interesting, is a Smilodon populator, adult, and cub, and it
Mhm.
appears in association with a Doedicurus that appears to have at least markings on it that look possibly like teeth marks. Now again, it said in the paper that they're very much up to interpretation and very much look like someone like dragged something, not like a puncture, but almost like if you take a rock and grind it on another rock.
I mean, that could probably be tested. You could look for traces of enamel in the grooves.
Probably, yeah. But it appears
Also, I'm
that
debating killing this Paraceratherium because it keeps shaking the screen.
you should kill it with all of the Glyptodons, all of the Doedicurus.
So anyway,
Send it.
I can.
What's the
Murder.
correct answer for the tail thing?
Oh yeah, this thing uses it as a weapon. It's a giant 150-pound
Yeah.
ball.
It's a cannonball.
It's a cannonball.
Run, my cannonballs!
Fire!
That's probably exactly
Oh,
what they
they
did.
knocked it back.
What they probably did is sat in a ball, and if a thing got close, they probably bapped it. Die! Die! And we can show off their other cool feature if this thing gets one of them to low enough health.
True. Which is that these are one of the few tames that most predators just won't kill.
Yeah.
They'll get it low, but they won't kill it. Also, wow, the Parasaur is actually doing really good.
Because it keeps knocking
Oh, there
them
it goes.
back. There it goes. It keeps knocking them back before they can hit it. Charge my army of bowling balls!
Charge my...
Get him! Get him!
Get him!
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
this
chase
is
them up.
great.
Wait, show them the third feature by chasing it.
Oh, you mean when riding?
Yes.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh, never mind.
Well,
Let's-
this is probably actually a good transition into gameplay.
Oh, hold
Well,
on.
maybe
Should
before
we
that, is there anything else? Yeah, is there anything else to say about the ecology, like the environment it lived in, the animals it lived with?
Big, like, media appearances?
I said
Oh,
that
yeah, true.
we can do that after game though. Media appearances specifically. I'm trying to go over this. Actually, there is evidence of club on carapace combat, like dents on the
Yes.
other side. There's evidence on that.
Which is exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Yep, for a...
Like this.
Okay. The reason
And
why.
hey, it's showing
Perfect.
what it would do.
The evidence of reason why people say it may not clubs is because there's a prediction that Doedicurus had shit eyesight and that the accuracy needed to do it wouldn't be possible if it had shit eyesight.
Dude, it is a...
I think is a
like-
bit
No, that's
dumb.
no.
It's a 4-foot tall bullseye. You're gonna hit it.
Yeah.
It's a circle trying to hit another circle with a circle.
All these
I
squares
mean
make a
against
circle.
predators is the
Oh.
idea. It's like, well, if a predator's jumping around it, then it wouldn't be able to hit it because it would precisely aim. I don't
I
know
mean-
about that.
No.
Rhinos have shit eyesight, for example.
Well, not
Well,
Maybe
and
not as bad
Rhino
as-
eyesight is actually about as
bad as much as a rabbit or a cat.
Really? I
Yeah,
thought rhinos
not
had shit
bad.
eyesight.
That's more because of like bad safari
Yeah, it-
professions.
Yeah, like excuses for people getting too close to them and making
Around and finding out.
Oh, really interesting.
Yep. They-
rhinos do have a bit of a temper, but no, they
That's
have
also
they have
true.
okay eyesight, especially
That-
for a mammal.
Actually,
Yeah.
I don't know if rhinos have a temper. I've only seen rhinos like giant puppies.
Like black rhinos have a temper.
Maybe.
Thank
But
you
yeah,
on that. Thank you
it
on
said
Natural
it-
History Channel.
it would only be attainable as a defense if it was standing still. Well,
No.
what? This thing wasn't chasing its predators around.
It wasn't like
It's gonna.
one hit's all it needs. One misstep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could just hunker down and wait. Actually, one of the few things I really loved in what was that documentary that came out last year that was disappointing?
Life on our planet.
Live on our planet.
Yeah, the Life on Our
What
Planet
is-
scene with the Smilodon and was it Glyptodon or was
It's
it
Doedicurus.
Doedicurus?
It's
Doedicurus.
Doedicurus. It's Doedicurus. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
That scene is phenomenal.
It's so good.
Like that's what I imagine the average predator-prey interaction was.
Yes.
You mean jump on it? Aha! This is a weird moving rock.
yes?
Yeah,
So yeah,
I mean,
it
it can't
appeared.
roll over. It can't buck you off.
No.
So yeah, it appeared on Life on Our Planet. It appeared in Walking with Beasts, where the pronunciation Doedicurus came from, and because I grew up with it, that's how I pronounce it. Do not at me. And
I could be wrong, but wasn't it really oversized in Walking with Beasts?
Yes.
it was said to be the size of a car.
It's.
But I
it's
thought
way
it.
too
I
big.
thought it was like the size of the Megatherium. Size.
Yeah, like
no, it's not that big. It's like, but it's like 4 feet tall, which is an issue. It's
Let
really
me-
it's like
4
Ankylosaurus
feet tall is
sized.
like 1.5 meters.
Well,
Here,
I think it's
let me-
Ankylosaurus sized.
Let me pull up a picture of it from Walking
Yeah,
with Beasts.
Here I'm looking at a
The
I'm looking at a
terror
picture of it. Oh yeah, that's supposed to be. It's not Titanus, is it?
No, it's Forest Raucus.
It's Forest Arks specifically.
That one I know. Forest Raucus I know is oversized in Walking with Beasts. It's like 7 feet tall. So
Yeah,
that
it
would
is.
go
3 meters tall.
3.5, 4 feet tall, which
I guess it's
is
probably actually
accurate.
right. Never mind, ignore us.
No,
That said, I am looking at a side-by-side comparison of all of the beasts from Walking with Beasts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In the side-by-side, it's like 5 or 6 feet tall.
Oh.
So might just be some shots. It's
I can't find
oversized,
a
some
list of other appearances. Can any of us think of any others off the top of our heads?
I mean, I was gonna say the Ice Age movies, but that was Glyptodon.
It's Glyptodon, yeah.
it's still a Glyptodont, and this is like our only chance to talk about it.
That's true. I don't think there's anything else.
Let me check.
It seems a very cool creature. I very much adore it.
Let's see. Doedicurus, Walking with Beasts, Life on Our Planet.
It's a mammal that converged on Ankylosaurs.
Yeah, it's what it did.
Really neat.
It did appear in like the Wild Creatures card. Like,
yes, but I think every single creature on the planet appeared in those cards.
Yeah, but especially Doedicurus, given that neck beard.
Actually, I learned something about that card.
Show where he went back in time.
No, it does not. It does not appear in Prehistoric Park. No.
Nope. That was Toxodon.
That's Toxodon. Speaking of which,
I know Toxodon did.
Yeah. If you even flash a picture of that card, by the way.
Yeah, the awful thing we found while researching.
Burns.
Well, it's on 2 legs. There's a prediction that Doedicurus was able to move on 2 legs, like Megatherium.
What?
Yeah.
That's actually supported by something. What?
That is.
Yes. Okay. Being a Glyptodon, it was a rotund animal with heavy armor and a carapace. I literally just saw it. Though Glyptodons were quadrupedal, large ones like Doedicurus may be able to stand on 2 legs like others in Arthrans.
May have.
Giant anteaters can do it.
Okay. Actually, I was about to say I don't believe it, but then I remembered they are mammals.
Yeah.
So, like, the males at least probably had to some degree.
Oh God, yeah. They probably.
Yeah.
Some degree, though, does not mean walking.
But I could imagine that they could probably do the weird Xenarthran thing of nyeh.
Yeah, but why would you expose your unprotected stomach? Like, you got your whole armored back.
They have claws.
Hey, I just realized maybe they use sex lakes.
What?
Have you guys never heard of sex lakes?
No. Oh, wait.
Oh, that's gonna be fun when we get to Brontosaurus.
Now I know what it is. No, I remember now. Why did you have to bring that up?
I do not know what you mean.
When we get to Brontosaurus, he'll explain it to you. I'm not going to do that
now. Also, I'm just gonna leave that in there and not explain it.
Okay.
I was looking for documentary appearances of Doedicurus, and I found a fun meme, which I think can be our transition into the in-game stuff.
Oh yeah. Did it crutches her with your massive club tail? What do you do?
Yeah, I'll just read it out for anyone who's only listening. You're migrating with your girlfriend down the coast of South America in 13,000 BC when this hunk comes and crushes her with his massive club tail. What'd you do?
Crush him with your massive club tail.
And on that note, we can probably start talking about it in game.
Yes.
Which, spoilers, folks, this is one of my favorite animals in the game. Like, not just mammals, animals.
So, since I'm the mammal guy, I'll do the dossier for Doedicurus. Trying to think of what's a voice I can do for
Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, okay. Doedicurus Costa Saxum is one of the island's non-aggressive herbivores, generally found in the islands and grasslands. Arched and well-armored, it has a supply of fat under its plates to keep it warm and fed in the cold. Doedicurus has adapted well to the dangers of the island, perhaps even better than the Arkosaurs. Doedicurus has two very different reactions to predators. Against smaller foes, it generally uses its spiked tail to inflict as much damage as possible. Against larger predators, however, it pulls its tail underneath itself to form a solid armored ball that is nearly impossible for creatures to pierce, from which it can actually roll away to relative safety. Domesticated. Doedicurus is a highly prized work animal on the island. Its spiked tail is ideal for quickly shattering the large rocks, so Doedicurus is a very efficient quarry worker. In addition, its affinity for rocks has allowed it to carry stone at a reduced weight. In case their quarry gets raided, Doedicurus riders have a very difficult to kill mount.
So it's a great warrior, which it's a utility that you never. It's a utility that you always need, especially when you start building bases and like building stone walls and stuff. Like it's always useful. Plus, and here's one thing I really love about it. So for anyone who doesn't know, in Ark, you can let creatures wander around, and they'll just walk around. But sometimes creatures have special abilities when they wander. Doedicurus will automatically gather rocks. So you don't even have to ride it all the time. You can just let it wander around. It'll clear rocks from around your base and put them in its inventory. It's great. And we already went over. It is accurately sized. It might be a tiny bit too long, but with that exceptional specimen in mind, that might not even be true.
It does have the shoulder spikes on the front that most likely did not have in real life.
True.
And the Ark species is different. It's Custo-Saxon.
Yes, which I just checked. It basically translates to rock shield, which fits. Like it's a living boulder. Yeah. Rock shield. It's good at gathering rocks. This one's not doing it. It's just wandering, but it'll eventually hit a rock.
Things.
And it can also roll.
Do the
It
funnest
rocks and
thing ever.
rolls,
Nyam.
which might be the reason why it has that ability.
It pulls an Anguirus.
It's the funnest thing ever. Now, do it now. Could Doedicurus do that? No, it couldn't.
It cannot.
Could it break rocks with its tail or roll?
Well, break rocks with its tail actually might have been able to do. If you swing a cannonball at 25 miles per hour, I'm sure you could break a rock with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could not roll. It cannot pull an Anguirus.
It cannot pull. No, if you didn't know, the only armadillos that can do that are 9-banded armadillos because they actually have enough segments to do that. Doedicurus and other glyptodons don't even have any segments. All they could do was tuck in. They couldn't even bend their carapace.
Oh, I'm sorry. We forgot to talk about something. For the real life segment, the shell.
Oh, yeah.
What is the shell?
Yeah.
Are they osteoderms?
Well, let's get to that now. So, a few things. These are, they're made of scoots. They're armadillo. It's very much armadillo stuff. But very interesting about glyptodons, unlike armadillos. If you notice, they're very bulbous at the top. It appears basically they have a camel hump under their carapace, and it's why they look like a circle.
Yep, and their carapace was firmly anchored to their pelvis, but much looser at the shoulders.
They're not like turtles, where it's their ribs.
No.
You could remove it if you wanted to torture it.
And then so they're scoots, so they're not embedded in the skin, they are on top of the skin?
They're on top of the skin.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
We've
So
learned the
it
difference.
is a bony shell covered in keratin? Question mark?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's covered in keratin. Yeah.
Got that taken care of, so.
And
I-
well, Gojira already mentioned that yeah, this one has spikes on the front and the real one didn't have that. I mean, I don't think it's I mean, obviously it's more spiky because that's Ark's design language, but I don't think it's a bad decision. It's like some of the bones could be more
If we
knobbly and
spec-evo
spiky.
it, it's not that bad. It didn't. Oh, we never went over its arc name.
Custo Sax?
We did.
We did.
We did?
You were on your phone. We did.
Oh,
Its name means rock shield.
Pay attention,
okay.
intern.
I'm gonna throw this at you.
I'll throw it back at you. Don't mind him. You know how interns are.
Hey, vey. Come on.
I
let's
work
not
at Harvard.
too much.
Ooh.
That is my response to that.
I mean, it's a valid response.
My response is I work at Harvard.
My response is always bullying you for like being at Harvard.
Exactly.
For being so
But yes,
At any rate,
those
being
spikes are probably
constructive
just a
here,
spec-evo thing.
it is a different
Yeah.
species.
Yes.
So for spec-evo, they were probably like an extra defense for like since
Kick
it, yeah,
Mhm.
it couldn't
it's-
like it
probably
couldn't
that's why
attack with the front with its tail, so it used its spikes to cover that area.
It also appears that its tail does have the weird ridges that the armadillos have, so it might actually be its tail tucking in to form the ball, and then it rolls. That's how it rolls, because it's not actually bending its
Okay.
shell. I think its tail's actually bending in.
Ooh, you know, I just realized we can see this because I can force one into a ball, and we'll see
Yeah.
what it looks like.
So yes, that does
So
appear to
we'll
be what
just
it is.
have
Its
some
tail
casual
is
animal
hurtling and not
abuse.
self.
Yeah.
It's holding its tail. I'm slowly falling asleep. It's
As am
if you didn't know, for me, guys, everyone, I am in the earliest time zone out of the group. It is midnight and a half here. So, is there any more in-game stuff we need to talk about?
I mean, efficient at gathering rocks. It has weight reduction, which is not bad.
Yeah, it's very
and
good.
especially with the rolling ability, it's surprisingly fast.
It's very fun.
It's
that-
not super slow.
It's also a tame that you won't lose if you randomly leave it out sometimes, because
Yes.
it does that.
Yeah, because it'll just curl into a ball.
Yeah.
And predators leave it alone when it's in a ball. And also, yep, confirm, the tail appears to roll up and tuck in near the head to form a ball.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think it's time to move on to ranking. Don't
I
you?
is.
got stuck in a loop.
It's trying
Perfect.
to
And-
break open that rock.
As our formal ranking starter, I'm going to start. Obviously, it's D for Doedicurus. No, I can't do that. This thing's like an A. I like it. Probably a mid-A, I'm going to say. But it is an A. It's a nice little travel tame. I prefer it to Ankylosaurus, even though they technically do gather different stuff. I tend to like the mammals in this game a lot more, as the mammals tend to be a lot more scientifically accurately based, like this one. The colors are very nice. It rolls up into a ball. It's adorable. So, yes, A.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a C plus. Like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, but like the shoulder spikes really bring it down for me, and like the rolling is pretty cool, but it just feels like the extra armor on the tail and head, it just feels a bit much for me. So like it's a little too much like natural, like if someone like embedded, like if you ever seen the game Paraworld, And if you
Um,
have like the dinosaur armor they have, which looks cool on that, but when it's embedded here, it just kind of looks off. So yeah, I just have mixed feelings on it. Like I like its role, I like its like adorable little gallop, but I'm just not a huge on the extra edginess of the design. So I'll give it a high C, C plus. I don't hate it. I just have my issues.
Well, you know, this is a rare thing here, folks. Doc is going to be the most positive of the group
yeah,
members.
Hmm?
I love this thing. Like the design, sure, it has a few extra spikes, but this is Doedicurus. Like it is Doedicurus with a couple extra spikes. It's the right size, it's the right shape. It's not useless, which for a fairly easy to tame creature is phenomenal. Like you can have these guys, you can get these guys early, and they're a great base defender, they're a great
yes.
gatherer, they're they're fabulous. Like have 4 or 5 and just let them wander around your base. Nothing's oh, this guy's gonna hit me. Nothing's ever gonna take down your base again. At least nothing wild, unless it's like a Giga or something. But anyway,
We'll talk about Giga when we get to it.
eventually. But it's
Mm.
always useful, and I think it's a great design. Honestly,
Yes.
it's cute, it's strong, it's useful. I'm gonna say it's useful again because it's freaking useful.
It is.
I
yeah.
always tame these things. I'm gonna give it an S. Not a high S, but an S. Because I never play art without getting at least one. Like it's as reliable a tool in my toolkit as a metal pickaxe.
Yeah.
And a torch.
And with that, I think that makes it a low A, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And it
Which
doesn't get shoved to the depths of B tier.
the growing depths of B tier.
Yeah.
Alright, well, now that I've defeated the bullies,
Yeah.
we can go over here.
Yes.
Wait,
and
does that make is that gonna make it our first A tier?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Huh.
Where's Doedicurus?
I found it. Don't worry.
Yep, he got it.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Finally, something in
Alright.
A tier.
You know, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
It's like I like it more than the Yankee.
Yes. And with
Honestly.
that, thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna go to bed, and we're gonna actually no, we're gonna spin the wheel first. Definitely.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Trying to show all of us.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you everyone for watching our 9th episode. Next week will be our 10th episode. I hope we get a very interesting creature we can talk a lot about.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yay.
we don't have another another air quotes 5-minute episode.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching Doedicurus and our 9th video. We're doing our 10th wheel spin. Hopefully we get something good. I'm sorry if I got abnormally angry at a very small armadillo.
It will be very entertaining, though.
Yeah, and hey, the odds are
Seconds,
only
my
higher
boss
now that we'll hit the
calling.
last Xenorthrid in the game.
The boss is calling.
Oh, there's probably also like a 50% chance we hit something else with Osteoderms, isn't there?
Maybe.
Oh.
Like,
Oh dear,
Yeah, the ball-
Don might have to take care of his chickens. We can... Okay, and he's back.
Sorry about that. My boss asked if I could come into work, which I have explicitly said I cannot come in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. So,
oh boy.
Oh, fun.
Oh.
yeah. Anyways,
Well, speaking of bossing things around, shall we see what the wheel decrees for us next?
Sure.
Uh,
Hey,
I
I
hope
gotta
we get a-
try.
Easy,
Some. I gotta try.
my Megatherium.
I hope we get
My
saber-toothed
Megatherium.
salmon just for you. Oh my god, it was so close. Oh my god, it was so close. Oh, thank god. Megatherium was two above it. Oh my god.
Close. So close
Actually,
to.
Actually, wait. Close it. I think Megatherium is actually just under it.
No, Yeti was just under it. Or no, Megalania.
Oh man,
Okay. I had a heart
have loved to
attack.
talk about
Thank God.
Megalania. Or
Megalania would have been fun. But Noglin's fun. I like Noglin. First shoulder pet.
yeah,
I have never tamed one, so this will be a first.
They're weird, and I think they have 6 legs. But let me double check. But yes, anyways, fun episode 10. We get it's a little gremlin that's gonna eat your soul.
it looks horrifying.
I love it so much.
It is.
It's an
horrific.
evil creature.
I hate this thing. Get this thing out of my sight.
Well, folks, if you want to be,
Look at it. It's so cute.
Is it Polynesian that has a word for something so cute you want to punch it?
Yeah,
It
that
looks-
sounds about right, actually.
It looks so ugly. I want to punch it.
If you want to see us talk
There's
about
all-
a bizarre critter, folks, make sure you do the whole, the YouTube spiel, like, subscribe, and share this with a paleo-loving friend. And hopefully we have some fun
Please
next
do
week.
that.